This podcast is a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to find out more. Hey everybody, yeah, you gotta know, you can support the show on the Patreon. www.patreon/ I tried to do a rap and it didn't work. Patreon.com/Harry Potter and the Boys. Support the show. Chuck us a couple bucks if you like the show. I'm sorry that you had to start the show like that. But you know what? If it makes you laugh and chuckle and be like, maybe I will support the Patreon and give these guys a couple bucks for making this great podcast that I love listening to, then I'm proud of it. Anyway, let's start the show. This is stupid. 50 years after the final Harry Potter book, Harry Potter is now headmaster of Hogwarts, ready to usher in a brand new generation of witches and wizards. My name's Radio Mike, and I love Harry Potter. In fact, I love Harry Potter so much that when I was a kid, I wrote a series of 7 Harry Potter fan fiction novels. This is book 3 in that series. Welcome to Harry Potter and the Dementors. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harry Potter and the Dementors, a fan fiction podcast by me, Radio Mike. Book 3. Harry Potter. What you were going to say? By my good friend Sam Garnett, head of cultural affairs.
Well, Mike, it's nice that you brought me in. Thank you for having me in today.
No worries.
Obviously, cultural affairs is a serious issue in a growing industry in Australia.
Yeah.
And that's why, as the Cultural Affairs Minister, I'm required to appear on every single podcast in Australia.
By law.
So far, I've done about 2.
Which other ones have you done?
Tim and Sammy.
Okay. Yeah, were you on that?
Yeah, a while ago.
Are you doing... Oh, you wouldn't do Joe Rogan because that's not an Australian podcast.
No, but I've sent a message.
Okay.
So basically, I just... Yeah, no one...
If they're required to have you on, they should be messaging you.
Well, I've reached out. I mean, it's really an opt-in thing rather than opt-out. So I have reached out to...
Everyone would opt out?
I've reached out to every single podcast.
Okay.
And...
How have you done that? There's some podcasts that have 2 episodes.
Well, Mike, I've been in this job for 4 years.
Okay.
This is the first one I've appeared on.
Didn't you say you did Tim and Sammy last week?
That was a few years ago.
Oh, have you actually done this gag before?
No.
Oh, okay.
But on the Cultural Affairs, and just no one's got back to me.
Anyway, this was a gag because I fucked up the intro and I wanted to detract from that. So.
You did. You forgot what the name of the podcast was. And I was writing on my phone like, oh, well, I can't. This is not the podcast I signed up for. Anyway, we are auditing the podcast, and so far...
Not great.
The LPMs are down, the last per minute.
This has been one of the hiest LPMs for
it's
me.
Great.
This show, I reckon, would be one of the highest LPMs of any podcast.
Okay, that's hard to say.
I stand by it.
LPMs for us, yeah, great.
Yeah.
We laugh at it a lot.
True.
And that's all that matters in the end, isn't it?
Actually someone count, are you laughing every time I laugh? Because I laugh a lot.
That's... what... But won't that detract from their... That's what I should be doing as the Cultural Affairs Minister.
Little, one of those things where the counters and just...
A clicker that a security guard has, like a bouncer has outside at a club and they count all the people in there.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, stop listening. Go get yourself a clicker.
There must be one on your phone.
Do you know what I remember? There was
when
I was in year 8. I was probably year 8. There's a time where you could order... It was like ordering Lynx Africa or something. It was literally came with a deodorant.
Yeah.
If you ordered it or sign up online or use your barcode, they would send you a clicker. Like,
why?
I don't know what it was for. It was just to count things. And so then I remember everyone at school like signing up, and then just like
everyone would have a clicker.
Half the people in the year level had these little things that just clicked numbers. And I don't know what you'd click. I can't remember why we would count.
Is it a funny prank to just stand like at the door to an office or something and just have a clicker? It's not.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, but if you were a victim of that prank, you'd be like, oh, I guess this guy's just counting how many people are coming into the office.
The way that you would do that is then when a group of people are coming in, you go click, click, and then you'd stop one person and go, sorry, mate, capacity. Gotta wait till one in, one out.
You're so funny. Seriously, I didn't even think of that. That's so funny. I would have just been standing there just clicking it and like, I know something about this is funny, but I can't
Oh, God, I can't figure You got half the prank right. You got the
You're
setup.
just showing up. Half of life is just showing
it is.
up.
The setup.
basically.
You're just counting people. You're just like, count. Oh yeah, quick. Yeah.
And then you go, there's 1,000 people today.
Yeah. Then you're just doing a job. You're really just doing a job. You're just.
That no one asked for.
Yeah. No.
Oh, man.
Just get me on
Okay,
bloody.
well,
Let's get me on bloody Impractical Jokers with.
I think that show's really funny.
Inspired Unemployed. Yeah. I've caught a bit of it, and some of them I feel bad for the people because I think that you got to be. The thing is, in this game, you kind of got to be somewhat comfortable with pranks.
Yeah.
Doing pranks, but sometimes I feel too bad.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
for comedy reasons, you've kind of got to get
Gotta
over
persist.
that. But I thought there was one I thought was very funny, but then I felt bad. They went, if it was real, they went on a speed dating thing, and they were like saying, or like they were like pranking the girls on the speed. I was like, I felt bad for the girls who were there for a real reason,
To find love.
to find love.
Yeah.
And here they are.
Here they are getting pranked.
One of them said that they tried to murder someone.
But that's kind of part of it's some of it's cringe. Like it's like, I feel
Yeah,
that's part of the appeal.
And that was funny, and it is the appeal. But then I for some reason when it's like cringy humor, I'm like, like I don't know, the movies I didn't like as a kid, like Meet the Fockers, Meet the Parents.
I mean, true. It's so cringe.
It was a
but
bit
it's
too
fucking
I
hilarious.
remember it being a little bit too much for me, cringe wise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But then people probably listen to this and think pretty cringe.
Okay. So we're currently the next few episodes are being recorded in advance.
What?
Because
You mean I've already lived all these words I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've already recorded these?
Well, I guess every episode is recorded in advance from when people are hearing them. But
No,
like
we're live into your ear holes right now.
we won't be having it. There will be no topical references because I am currently in Europe. I am currently traveling the globe. I am.
Are you actually by the time this one comes out?
Yes, I will be. I'll be in.
How is it? How is it over there?
Yeah, good. I think I'm in Spain right
Oh,
now.
you're in Spain.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So,
Have you learned any-
but like now I think the listeners are confused. I'm not currently in Spain. Currently, I'm in Melbourne, sitting next to Sam. But when you're it's too hard to explain.
How's have you had any tapas?
Probably. So no, but this is the thing. I don't think you and I haven't gone yet.
But I heard you got your bag stolen.
No, don't say that. but there's no topical. Predict something that might happen.
The Carlton wins the grand final.
No,
That won't have happened.
Collingwood will win the grand final.
Well, hopefully by this stage, Carlton has played that game that I got tickets to, and I
They will
went.
have, yeah.
I had a great time, and I had a great time. there.
Awesome. And see Sam's Instagram.
I had a great
story for
time,
that.
and I enjoyed the parts that we kicked goals.
Yeah,
And I believe we might have even kicked more goals than the other team.
that's possible.
If so, I'm very happy. If not,
We don't know.
yeah, but I won't. Yeah.
So Sam's going to be doing 2 of these, and then Jackie Hutton's going to do 3, and then I'll be back in the start of October. So enjoy. I just wanted to give a heads up for that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And the little Patrons and other video viewers would then notice that I'm actually wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, because we've already done it. Yeah.
Which, I mean, let's pivot that to Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
This is just.
Oh, you
another
didn't
thing.
have a way. You were just. You've got something.
Oh, not really, but I had read Harry Potter. Here we go. This is just a thing from ages ago where Daniel Radcliffe once wore the same outfit for 6 months to frustrate paparazzi. Do you know that?
That's clever.
So, I don't want to. Do we really want to have someone explaining it, or should?
Nah, you explained it.
Yeah.
So basically, but is it because like I don't? But like
It's because
still,
paparazzi are taking photos to sell photos of Daniel Radcliffe, like out and about doing stuff. But then the idea was all the photos would look the same. Like every day that
because he's hanging out in the same
yeah,
areas.
so they can't really sell as many of the photos because it's like this just looks like Harry walking, Daniel Radcliffe walking the same street wearing the same thing.
Yeah. And there's only so many ways like you can twist like someone walking down the street just doing a normal face. No one's walking down the street looking super happy. Like, hey, like no one's walking down the street. So like often they take photos of celebrities literally just like walking down
Like
the
a
street
neutral
with a
face.
neutral face, and they're like, lonely and downtrodden Daniel Radcliffe paces London streets,
Yeah.
you know, and it's
In
just like,
his jacket from Topshop and
his sweatpants. It's
yeah,
like,
some cotton on.
and it's like we all go walking to the shops in sweatpants, in tracksuits and t-shirts and jumpers.
I
and
wish
shit.
someone would take my photo.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I wish.
Get papped. But yeah.
I'm just looking at the outfit in question though. It was just funny from Daniel Radcliffe. He's in like a leather jacket, kind of zipped up, and then just a brown hat.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Tobey Maguire.
He does.
Yeah, he does. Spider-Man.
Hmm.
That's a really good story from Danny.
And
from
now
Rodney.
I guess that's what I'm doing now. I'm wearing the same outfit so that people, you know, all these
That's such a good link.
photos you're doing. Oh, thanks, mate.
Hey, I wanted to bring a little Harry Potter tidbit at the top here, because I've been thinking a lot about. I mean, a lot
Death?
of this, but no,
And
surprisingly
Hallows?
not. No,
Okay.
You know how like. I mean, again, this podcast, a lot of the tidbits are just like things in Harry Potter that like don't really make that much sense. And like,
Well, you know, it's thought provoking, isn't it? Isn't it, guys?
There's a lot of them that are like this, where like, so everyone talks about how there's this chamber of secrets hidden underneath the school. No one knows where it is. They've searched the school. There's supposed to be some monster in the school who can kill students. But like for like hundreds and hundreds of years, no one seems to know what that monster could possibly be, right?
Yeah.
And then literally like Hermione literally figures it out just by reading a book. Like, oh, it's a basilisk. All of it adds up. Hey, Dumbledore. Like how did Dumbledore...
How did you know? How did you figure it out again?
Because she was like, okay, everyone's being petrified.
Right.
And
That's right.
like she connected all the dots and was like, it's definitely a basilisk,
Mm.
right? And then they also found out from Aragog that like spiders flee before it, and then in the book it said spiders flee before the basilisk, right? But like, why did no one like Dumbledore ever go, I mean, if there was a monster, like all of this is probably a basilisk, also makes sense, Slytherin, snakes, he could talk to snakes, it's almost certainly a basilisk down there, and it's using the pipes to get through the school.
Well, were there many petrifications, petrifying
I don't know.
things before?
Because maybe not.
Because like,
But still, it's like the air of Slytherin. Like, how could you not deduce that it would be a basilisk?
yeah, I guess you'd be like probably, but like the air of Slytherin could have come across a dragon.
That's true.
Put a dragon
maybe
down
it's-
there.
Well, the one thing I don't get in Harry Potter as well is like, how is the basilisk traveling through the pipes? I think we've talked about it before.
Like the pipes must be massive. And surely, is there any kind of blueprints to this place, or is there any like? If they really tried to look for it, they'd be like, let's just, hey, why don't we just fucking drill through this floor?
Yeah, exactly. But
As
also,
in, like, they're like, oh, there's something down there.
there must be massive pipes, like enormous
Yeah.
pipes.
Yeah.
It makes
People
no
taking
sense.
big dumps down there.
Yeah.
Really big dumps.
For a whole snake, a gigantic snake to fit in. It's crazy.
And
How's the basilisk surviving down there? No one's feeding it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, no one's feeding it. But then, when in the movies,
Yeah.
when Harry, Ron, Hermione fall down there, isn't there a pile of bones?
There is like fish bones, isn't there, or something?
Is that just from like Ginny that year?
I don't know. Maybe Mr. Filch goes down and
Yeah, he
feeds it,
does.
and like he doesn't make the connection that this is the Chamber of
Yeah,
Secrets.
that was just a pet.
Yeah, sorry. When I took the job, it was on the job list. Feed the basilisk in the chamber.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dumbledore.
Yeah, I just didn't know that was. Yeah,
I just come down. I leave
was like-
a
it was like-
bucket of fish.
yeah, it was like page 18 of the thing. You probably just
Yeah.
didn't read the whole. Just it's right down the bottom. I just read the whole thing.
Anyway, I think it's stupid.
It is. It's yeah. What about the giant squid
In the lake.
In the lake.
Yeah.
Let's do with that.
Yeah, it doesn't pop up much. Like it's not. It doesn't become a big plot point.
Yeah, actually, I guess I almost appreciate that. Usually everything is like, oh, and that'll come back, and that they mentioned that, and that comes back to be a big plot point.
Yeah,
I'm glad the
It's just
squid.
like,
The
there
squid was
just
just
is
there.
a squid. There just
Leave
is
it
a
alone.
squid. Yeah,
Leave the squid alone.
I think there's a fan theory that Godric Gryffindor is the giant squid.
What?
I can't remember it. Look it up.
What?
Look it up.
Well, Okay, I'll do it
I
before.
should have. Do you want me to look?
No,
read it?
well, we can look up now. We can look up before next week.
Yeah, we'll look it up before next week. Should we get into the double F?
Yeah. One other thing is that condolences, or commiserations to Harry Potter fans. As
What's happened?
Barbie has just surpassed Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows
Part 2.
Part 2 as the highest grossing Warner Brothers.
I did see that. It does make sense.
Done like a billy.
Yeah. I think Deathly Hallows Part 2 crossed $1 billion.
Yeah, but
it makes sense. Like, I think there's enough inflation there. Like, not saying Barbie's a great movie that deserved to get to that point, but like, it's been, over 10 years since Deathly Hallows Part 2. Like, movies often make more money now. More movies are making $1 billion now than were making $1 billion 10 years ago.
Sure, but do you think more people have gone to see Barbie?
Probably. Yeah. I think like Deathly Hallows was a big cinematic event, I remember. And I think Barbie was too. And cultural significance, I think, as well.
Yeah, but I think, I think that Barbie is probably more accessible.
Yeah.
As in like,
Yeah.
going to Deathly Hallows Part 2, if you hadn't seen the first 7, you'd be like, no, maybe not. Anyway,
let's get into the double F. Last week we pick up from last week rather, where Gemini...
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, what happened last week, Sam? Gemini Jones came out of the forest and passed out. And then Monsieur Chargeur ran into the forest.
What we kind of didn't pick up was why the Commentors all rushed to Hogsmeade to look for...
Was that not that Vladec was seen in Hogsmeade?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
By whom?
Madame Rosmerta, maybe. Doing her photo shoot. So we pick up with the next chapter, Sam. And generally on this show, Minister, we like to start the podcast by reading the title of the chapter.
It's highly untraditional, but I guess I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it?
Chapter 18, Behind the Screams with Charger and Jiri. Behind the Screams. I love that.
I love Behind the Screams.
Like behind the Screams with Charger and Jiri.
Feels like Behind the Screams is like the name of a documentary on like the Friday the 13th movie series. Yeah.
It's like,
Behind the Screams.
Or it's the DVD special features. Behind the Screams.
Behind the Screams. But this is interesting, like behind the scenes, we're getting like some extra lore on Mr. Charger, Clownish Kim Jiri and their plans. So yeah.
All right.
Let's see how we go.
Fuck. Winston Charger came out of his disguise and made his way through the Forbidden Forest. Wow. So we're confirming that Winston Charger is Monsieur Charger, which I think we'd all kind of put together.
I don't know.
There was a chance. Hoping that no one from the dreadful school of Hogwarts had followed him there, he wandered into a secret hiding place that he, Clownish Kim Jiri, and Vladec had been hiding out since breaking Vladec out of Azkaban. Wow, we're getting a real insight here.
Yeah, I mean, we're 18 chapters in.
That does, yeah. I shouldn't be surprised. Inside the hiding place, Clownish Kim Jiri sat timidly on the floor, seeming nervous about Mr. Charger's arrival. The secret cave had writing scrawled all over the walls in what appeared like blood, and it seemed to be the ramblings of a madman. Clownish Kim Jiri confirmed that it was actually his recipe for tomato soup that he wanted to write down somewhere in case he forgot.
Forgot with an extra G in there between the F and the O for Gorgot.
Yep. Because it was his grandma's recipe and she passed away a few years ago.
Aww.
Yeah. At the funeral, they talk about how she was such a great woman who always cared and about everyone around her.
Aww. Oh, well, that's a nice
detail.
You know, I sympathise more with Clownish Kim Jiri now that I know that his grandma died.
But now he's, written a recipe for tomato soup in blood.
What appears to be blood. Yeah. Also, how he couldn't have been at the funeral because wasn't he a fugitive on the run? Oh, but he can change his appearance to to Jim Wilkins.
There we go. Maybe he was there.
He
Maybe he was singing as a choir. At the funeral. Here we go. Why the fuck did I just see the boy we were holding captive for a very specific purpose strolling his way back to Hogwarts casually and peacefully? Who the fuck let him do that? Who? Mr. Charger said in an angry tone. Is that all right? That was
Yeah, it was really good. That's a great... Can I be Kim Jiri?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Cool.
Clownish Kim Jiri always looked bad, but at the moment he looked worse. His nose was a dark red, leaking out some kind of gross liquid. His red hair greasy and sticking up at the sides, his face white as a ghost.
Really? Like, one of the only characters that you get a very detailed visual description
Yeah,
of.
that's true.
But I guess that's because it was part of his sort of twist in the last book.
As soon as he looked up at Mr. Charger vomited and said, "You look disgusting, more than normal. Can't you, change?" Being a multiplex, Clownish Kim Jiri could, indeed, change his appearance to be more attractive, but he winced.
And he's like, is it crusty kind of vibes?
Oh, mate, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like supposed to be like clown, so it's
Yeah,
like...
give it a go.
No,
That was good.
we're barely eating out here. He's not American, though.
And I don't, and just
Not as throaty?
Well, I just want you to take care of your own voice.
Thanks. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
We're barely eating out. Okay, I don't want to do that. We're barely... No, I can't do this. We're barely eating out here, Winston. I have no energy. We can't all be dining on the best Hogwarts has to offer. Last night we had to kill a centaur to survive. I have no energy to use multiplex magic.
Mike's not going to make the rest of the podcast, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, then can you sit in the corner of the cave and face the wall so I don't have to look at you? And answer my question, said Mr. Charger.
Oh,
Clownish?
very kid in Time Out. It
Yeah.
does seem to be that kind of weird dynamic between Charger and Jiri.
Which I feel like Clownish Kim Jiri just seemed a lot more confident in the last book. And now he's just this, he was this confident, multiplex, Jim Wilkins choir,
But now he's, like he said, he's starved,
guess.
But also the characters tend to change based on the author's needs on the day.
Yep. Clownish Kim Jiri crawled softly to the edge of the secret cave while doing a helicopter fart, which made everyone laugh.
Is that like a...
I don't know, Mike. I don't know. Like, it must be. Well, there it is again. That one was actually Mike's fart.
No, it wasn't.
And
never
where
farted.
is Vladec? You know he can't be out there for long. The Commentals will get him. I told you to make sure he didn't leave his cave, you bumbling idiot.
Vladec took the boy out to, use the bathroom. The next thing I knew, I couldn't find either of them. They were both gone. I poked my head outside and saw Commenters flying toward the area, so I hid. I don't want my soul sucked out, even if it does feel like 1,000,000 orgasms at once.
Kim Jiri responded.
Please don't tell me the Commentors found him.
They were unsuccessful this time, but Gemini's now out of our control. Do you realize this means we've lost the upper hand? Kim, I am fucking breaking my back in that school trying to stay disguised, trying to gather as much intel about Harry's counterattack as possible. As far as I can see, there's nothing going on in his stupid head, but we need to be careful. And with the boy gone, everything becomes much harder, said Mr. Charger.
Can we do a stock take on this? Because I just want to, it does feel a bit scattered. So
Yeah.
we've got Mr. Charger, Boris Mailman, Vladec Slovadomonavic,
Yep.
and Clownish Kim Jiri.
Yep.
Now, Boris Mailman, who is Mailboy's father, hasn't appeared for a while from memory.
No.
Is he still in cahoots with these guys?
He must be, but what happened to him?
I don't know. And then
At the start of
so Vladec is on the run. He's a murderer who murdered Jordan Borden and his own wife. That's what we found out from that newspaper article.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
And he appeared as a
fart ghost.
fart ghost of some sort,
Yeah.
projection.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the last book. And then, so Mr. Charger is in Hogwarts in disguise. And he said he's trying to find out Harry's counterattack, but it doesn't appear there's much going on. So I'm just trying to figure out what they want to bring Voldemort back. They're holding Gemini hostage. Is that because if Lockie and Gemini reunite, they create the being of You're
Yeah.
I just like,
Maybe because
and they want that as a super weapon to like be able to fight off any other wizard.
but why did that like they took Gemini all the way to Kazkaban to break what's his name out
Yeah.
in the boat?
But where else would they have kept him?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like they just had to. And now Gemini. So Vladec took Gemini out to go to the bathroom. And then I guess maybe the Commentors in the last chapter were like, oh, we've got a whiff of Vladec.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Which maybe caused a kerfuffle that allowed Gemini to somehow escape.
Yeah.
And Vladec couldn't get back to the hiding place, so he's run towards Hogsmeade to hide.
Well, I think that Gemini must have done some sort of other magic effect to him that made these lights in his eyes because they shone out of the forest. So maybe maybe he was, I don't know, maybe he was close enough to Lockie that they made some magic. I don't know.
So yeah, I'm just trying to like, it's all very.
Why do they? I mean,
like, are you intrigued by this mystery or
it feels like we don't have enough details to be intrigued yet. We're just confused.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, but why?
When you're reading Harry Potter, like you're not intrigued. You're not confused. Well,
there are bits. There are bits where you're like, oh god, what's that? What's the deal with that?
Yeah.
But then you find out at some point, which maybe we will. But
yeah,
it feels a bit like, hang on. So they're trying to bring Voldemort back. So, but why do they need to be on the school grounds?
And like, why can't Mr. Chudger just kill Harry if that's their aim? But maybe that's not their aim.
Maybe that's because
he's got him. He's got him.
Oh, but like, I mean, I guess same shit in the books and the movies, the real ones. You're like,
he just can't.
He could have killed him before, sure.
True.
Someone could have killed him.
Maybe they need his blood for like to bring Voldemort back, like they did.
Yeah,
but they've got to do the coif ceremony.
And why would there be a? Oh yeah.
So this is more of a like. I think this episode is more just us like just being like, so what? Sorry. Guys, we have a lot of fun doing this show. What the fuck's actually going on? Because it really just goes in and out of us.
Hopefully we learn a little bit more as this chapter goes on.
Can I solicit for fan theories as well?
Sure.
Can you send in your theories? Because, well, not that we're going to be able to get to them next week.
We're not gonna,
we'll get to them in 6 weeks when I'm back. But yeah.
But you'll still be looking through all the messages and stuff like that. So
I'll be collating it. I'll do a bunch of outposts.
So please send in messages as you listen.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So anyway.
Oh, with the boy gone, everything becomes much harder,
said Mr. Charger.
He won't remember anything. And as for Vladec, he shouldn't be too hard to find. It'll be hard for him to get back here, but he can't really get too much further than Hogsmeade, or the Commentors will suck him up. As long as we know that, and he knows that we're close, everything should be fine. Yes, we lost the boy, and I'm sorry.
Said Kim Jiri. I just find that funny that he's apologising.
So, Vladec, okay. So, yeah, okay. All right, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure it out.
That's me in every chapter. I don't know why you let him out for a toilet break. I set up the shit bucket for that exact purpose. So Mr. Charger said, pointing at a bucket in the middle of the cave that was empty.
I know. I've been a stupid man, Winston. Please spank me on the bum. Sad face emoji.
Yeah.
I need to be spanked on the bum. And hard. I deserve it.
Kim Jiri, you've got to be more sustainable with your voice.
I feel like that's part of the character.
It is actually. Kim Jiri said, turning around and giving Mr. Charger the eyes like Puss in Boots in Shrek.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually do know what you're talking about.
Shrek, Puss in Boots holds the heart and he's like...
Makes really cute eyes.
And then he gets ya.
Very well, pants down, please, Mr. Charger said. Kim Jiri pulled his pants down and Mr. Charger smacked him on the bum several times, so his bum was very red and swelling up. His bum was as red as his nose and was starting to bruise.
Okay, so there's a bit of Sado between Charger and Kim Jiri.
I don't like that.
Why?
Because it's just these...
They're childhood friends. You do that stuff.
You sure do. There you go, you naughty boy. Think about what you've done, said Mr. Charger. Wow.
Okay. All right. Is this a Kim?
Yeah.
And what about you, Winston? Does anybody in the castle suspect you? Those meddling boys, are they seeing through the disguise?
Kim said, "It's getting very Scooby Doo and the mystery because they're those. And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids."
The Scooby Doo movie, you know the live action Scooby Doo movie? It was filmed at Movie World.
I don't know why I knew that, but I did know that recently. That
the
was in
Gold
my
Coast.
brain. Yeah.
And that's why they have the Scooby Doo spooky coaster.
Yes. Why have I heard a lot about that recently?
I don't know. Why have you? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, with Matthew Lillard as Shaggy. He's good.
Freddie Prinze Jr. as Fred.
Oh. Sarah Michelle
Gellar as
Daphne.
And Linda Cardellini as
Velma,
who was previously in
Freaks and Geeks
with
Jason Segel, Seth Rogen,
who was in a new show with that we talked about on the last episode.
Harrison Ford.
And that's how we bring everything full circle on this show.
That's ridiculous.
That is it. Freaks and Geeks is a good show.
Freaks and Geeks is an amazing show.
Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jason Segel, Linda Cardellini, the other girl.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in it?
It's just good.
The boys, like the young guys. Yeah.
Okay, how about this? You've seen Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
One of the boys' mates, Bill. Remember Bill, who's the big, tall one?
Lanky one, kind of nerdy one. Yeah.
I was watching a movie a few months ago and I was like, I reckon that's Bill from Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
And that movie,
I think
Spider-Man. He's Tom Holland's teacher in Spider-Man.
Yes, I did know this. In the new Spider-Man No Way Home, and he's at the start of the movie.
Well, I think he's in more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's his teacher.
Wow.
Isn't that well? And I was pretty proud of myself being like, that guy looks familiar. And I was like, I know him from a show he was in 20 years ago.
Okay, you know what else? Linda Cardellini is, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. She's in Marvel as well. She's Hawkeye's wife.
Yeah. I think she's great.
She's great, and she is responsible for my love of Velma because I think she's very beautiful and she makes Velma
very well put.
Fiona, you're pretty, and this flower's pretty. Have you seen Shrek? Fiona, I got you this flower because, well, it's pretty, and you're pretty.
What accent are you doing? Are you trying to do Shrek?
Yeah.
It sounded like Italian or something.
Fiona,
you're pretty.
No, we'll do your Shrek. Hey, Fiona, I got you this flower because it's pretty, and you're pretty.
It's not quite there.
You haven't even attempted.
I know, because I don't.
Get in the arena.
Get out of my swamp.
That was pathetic.
It was so bad.
No, that was actually better than mine.
What else does he say?
What are you doing in my swamp? Nah, I can't do it.
Ogres have layers. No.
Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Pretty. Oh, it is hard.
I thought I got you this flower because it's
I
pretty.
don't think... Do you think people want to hear this? I don't know.
Can
we please move on?
Did you watch the Velma show by Mindy Kaling?
What? Oh, what?
Did you not know that? Oh, Mindy Kaling. You know Mindy Kaling?
Yeah.
She did a animated Velma series.
Oh, cool.
In which Velma is like an Indian American, like based on her. And apparently, like, it was one of the most like hated shows of last year.
Really?
Which is like, I watched the first one and I was like, oh yeah, this is funny. I haven't watched any more. But apparently, like, it was getting really you know, when like conservatives like hate that something is in quotes woke and they like purposely like review bomb it and stuff.
Like
it was
She-Hulk as well has been.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Good.
And also like, oh, Velma's not Indian, she's white. But it's like, well, this is just a new interpretation of that character. Yeah. Like, you can do that. Anyway.
Because I've watched a lot of the Mindy Project as well, which I found really funny.
Show. I really like Mindy Kaling.
And obviously, and she writes a lot of The Office.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many things online. There's even things that she's posted online of like men making a comment about Mindy's character Kelly.
Kelly Kapoor.
I mean, like
In The Office.
In The Office, being like, oh, like she's not funny or whatever. Like the other characters are all funny, and she's like,
I love Min.
I was saying, there's
Kelly.
one where she's like, I think she's even responded like, I wrote this episode.
Yeah.
Isn't she, like they're like the other characters are funnier in this episode than her, and it's like she's like, I wrote this.
Yeah.
So like,
Gotcha.
guys, yeah, but some guys just don't accept
Female
facts,
writers.
logic,
Yeah.
anything. That still wouldn't have changed their mind.
Harry Potter and the Boys will be right back. Guys, couple little things. Excuse this interruption, teachers and students. Just a reminder that Derek is a disgrace to all wizards. But also, you know, if you like this podcast, why don't you do something great for the pod? Leave a review and leave a 5-star rating if you're listening on Spotify. And jump on the Patreon, patreon.com/Harry Potter and the Boys. And you know what? Check out my other podcast, 20th Century Boy. Check out my YouTube channel, Radio Mike, for hot takes on the hottest pop culture. Probably not the hottest pop culture, but, you know, pop culture in general. Go and support me. Go and support Sam. Follow us. All that stuff. All right, let's get back to this show. Sorry about that Shrek stuff before. All right, let's pick it up.
Anyway,
Kim
back
Jiri's
to...
been slapped on the ass.
Yep.
We all like that sometimes.
So
Sometimes we don't.
are they... Gonna move on. Are they seeing through the disguise, Kim said. Mr. Charger looked shocked by the question and almost scared to answer, as he didn't want to appear weak in front of Kim. I don't know. That's how I interpreted his face. Brackets, the narrator. So it's IDK.
Yeah, I don't know. The narrator doesn't
that's
know
how
how
I
to interpret what happened.
Yeah.
Or is that a specific note?
who's-
Is that like, why is that there?
I don't know.
Because can't the narrator be like, I don't know any of what, I'm just interpreting it how I see it.
Yeah. Or isn't the
But he
narrator meant to be
specifically put
all-knowing?
it there.
Anyway.
Yeah, true. Well, we know, I think the narrator in this book isn't all-knowing. In fact, he's no-knowing. Because wasn't there a bit in the last book where there was a whole page blank, and then it was like, oh, sorry, I stepped away from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those, here, let me think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Those boys suspect nothing. I'm right there in front of them and they have no idea. They haven't said anything that would imply that they know it's me. I'm basically hiding in plain sight, said Mr. Charger.
Which we know isn't true. So they haven't said anything like, we know it's you, Mr. Charger, or we know you were Mr. Charger in disguise. Don't come near us.
Kim asked. No. Why would they? My disguise is excellent, Mr. Charger said, and spanked Kim Jiri again for questioning him. Now, I must go back to the school. You stay here. I don't want anything to put the plan in jeopardy, and tonight has been bad enough. Oh, also, what's your recipe for that great tomato soup your grandma used to make? I just love it so much, Mr. Charger asked.
Oh, it's so easy to make. The recipe's just written on the wall in blood. I'll email it to you.
Clownish Kim Jiri said. So, like, he's got the ability
to digitize it.
Yeah, but he's, no need, I'll just write it down. He began penning the recipe down from the wall, but could barely understand the writing as the blood was dripping down and shit. Oh, we've never seen this graphic before. We've got these squiggly lines, then later, then squiggly lines again.
We've never had usually it's just a chapter break. We've never actually had like a, hey, like later. And it doesn't
doesn't have to be just because like later on, or it just could just keep continuing.
It's very comic book, like later. Meanwhile, yeah,
and it actually even you've said later, but this bit seems like it happens actually during, because it says the boys had followed Gemini as the staff brought him to the hospital wing. I mean that just happened.
Yeah.
So it's actually probably before. Fucking hell.
Oh god.
All right, the boys had followed Gemini as the staff brought him to the hospital wing, but they were not allowed in. Professor Flitwick Jr. explained that some kind of dark magic had been used to bewitch Gemini, and he wouldn't be coming out of the coma state for a while. What? The boys looked at...
What?
Well, just like, what does Flitwick Jr. have to do with any of this?
He's a teacher.
Yeah, whatever.
Isn't he the charms teacher?
Sure. Oh, yeah. The boys looked up and down, and Professor Flitwick Jr.
It's supposed to be at, I think.
Yeah. The boys looked up and down at Professor Flitwick Jr. and just said, "Don't talk to us, you disgusting bastard. Get one of the other teachers to tell us."
which is a question apparently.
I love
Get one of the other teachers to tell us.
Yeah. It's just funny trying to read this book because
I can tell.
we've got the boys looked up so we don't even know which boys have said it,
just
or all of them, and it ends with a question mark, which is a bit.
But also, the boys, we need to remember the boys aren't good people. Like, they're looking at Professor Flitwick Jr. being like, don't talk to us, you disgusting bastard. Which feels like the kind of discrimination that, like, Malfoy would have done in
that's true.
that real book. So, don't think the boys are the heroes of this book.
I don't know if anyone has thought that at this point. They're always going off debating and all that. Harry strolled past the hospital wing and saw the boys waiting outside. He was in his pajamas, in brackets, he slept naked. That is the second, that joke was literally
in the last chapter.
Yeah, probably 300 words ago. He was in his pajamas, he slept naked, and had a condom on his flaccid penis that was filled up with cum. Wow. Oh, what's up? Has someone got hurt or some shit?
Because he wouldn't have seen what happened because he rushed back to the castle. So he's just wandering through the school. He's got a condom dangling off his penis, filled with what we can only assume is his own semen.
Well, yeah, it does say that. Yeah, well, I assume it's his own.
Yeah.
The boys looked at the dangly condom. Oh, this. Yeah, I got laid tonight. Should have taken this off, but felt like a late night walk. Oh, who? You wouldn't know them. Just a chick from a different school. As in, she's the headmaster of a different school. Which school? You wouldn't know it. Just a school from, like, far away. Yeah, Defs didn't whack myself up with a condom and then walk out here to look cool and intend to bump into you boys with the hopes of impressing you and, like, wait, where are you going? Where are you going?
So he intended to do this. He was like, you know what I should do to make it look like I've gotten a girl to have sex with me?
I'm going to walk around for a bit.
No, I'm going to wank into this condom, wear it, walk around the school naked and purposely bump it.
That's what,
And he probably saw the boys on the Marauders map or something. He's like, oh, there they are. Cool. I'll just go now.
Yeah, great.
And they will think I'm so cool.
Yeah. And now he's telling them, wait, where are you going? The boys had simply walked off and returned to the Gryffindor dormitory, except Derek and Dimmy, who went to the expelled common room, which was in the teachers' toilets now because the Chamber of Secrets had been destroyed.
So, like, Harry just comes in to do a shit while they're...
Yeah. Yeah, we're sleeping here. They sat at the window looking down at the schoolyard, wondering what the fuck was going on. Hey, look, said Tom. He had noticed something. Monsieur Chargeur was walking out with his wand, with his... hang on. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
He had noticed Monsieur Chargeur was walking out with his wand out of the Forbidden Forest, looking concerned and ruffled. He then appeared to turn around and look to his feet, as though he heard a noise. He then shook it off, realizing it was probably just an animal. Either way, he looked mad. Okay.
Wow. And is that the chappie? No. Oh, no, that's not the chappie.
It's still going. Oh, for a bit. The boys then overheard someone talking from outside the common room. Sorry, Denise. Oh, sorry, Denise. I've already had sex tonight. Couldn't go 2 in 1.
So it's Harry.
I literally didn't ask you to have sex, Harry, said the voice of Denise. And that's the end of the chappie.
Sorry, Denise. Yeah, it would be disrespectful for me to have sex with two girls.
I could not possibly have sex again tonight. I didn't say that. I didn't ask you to have sex.
But come on, Denise. You're desperate. You fucked Hagrid.
No.
You'd fuck me, wouldn't you? No, I probably wouldn't. Come on, you would.
I'm just I'm painting. Oh, no.
Yeah, but you fucked Hagrid. I like Hagrid. He's got a nice heart. What about my heart? Well, I just don't like it. Harry would be that guy who can't accept that a woman.
Oh, come on.
Come back. We'll have a glass of wine. No. I'm a painting.
Oh, and I've got you're too good for me.
And I've got my period. She's got her period.
She does.
She's got a...
I realised, I was like, we can't just end. She sure does. Anyway, thanks everyone.
That was an interesting sort of like 2-in-1 chapter a bit.
Yeah.
So did we learn? What did we learn there?
Well, we learned that the bad boys are hanging out in the forest.
Yeah.
They're hiding out there
in a cave of some sort.
They had Gemini
Yeah.
Now they don't.
Now they don't. He's back at the school, say in safety. Vladec has been separated from them. He's probably hiding out in.
I just had a thought that when Mr. Charge was walking out of the forest and something, he thought, oh, that's just an animal near my feet. It was maybe it was an animagus of some sort.
Oh.
So
Because that's a little detail. And you know this author loves little details. It's interesting.
little details that everything matters.
Everything in this book matters. Should we look at the title of the next chappy
Yeah, let's do it.
for next week? Okay. Oh. Why are you laughing?
Because I just didn't expect the second half of the chapter title.
Yeah, you're right. Like, actually, there's 5 words in this chapter title, and the first 4 probably are a title you could get in the real Harry Potters. But then the last one
It just takes a turn.
just takes a turn for the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Wow.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to doing that one next
week. Let's and hopefully we find out some more details on what is going on.
Yeah, you hope so. Really interesting chappy though. Really enjoying this book as it slowly, and I stress slowly, unravels.
18 chapters, is it?
Yeah.
We're done? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still wondering what the fuck's going on.
Which isn't, we sort of felt that for the last book. Because didn't the Team Wizard tournament end in like chapter 10? And then it was like, well, now we don't know.
Was it the last book? Or was it this? That was the last book.
Yeah. At HPATB pod on TikTok and Instagram, at Sam Garlip on Instagram, at radio.mike on Instagram. Clips also go up on YouTube. Sam, do you have anything to plug?
I don't think so. No.
You might though. This is in the future. We're recording this 4 weeks
Actually,
ago.
yeah, I've got some great opportunities coming up. And I'm loving it.
Yeah. And you won the lottery.
And I won the lottery.
The jackpot. 100 mil.
Yeah, 100 milli. So
And you're still here with us. Thanks, man.
that's it. I'd never leave you. I would never leave you.
If you won $100 million, would you still do this show?
Probably. What else am I going to do?
I don't know, like go to space.
No, I don't think I would. I feel like I'm not going to go to space soon. I feel like I got to wait a little bit.
Would you go? Okay, here's a hypothetical before we finish. If there was like in 5 years, it's like, hey, $2,000 return trip to the moon. You get to walk on the moon, get a photo, get a video of you going, oh, it's one small step for man. It becomes a tourist attraction. You get to walk around a bit and then you get to come home. Guaranteed safety, like it's all been checked.
Okay.
$2,000 return trip to the moon. Would you do it? No.
Maybe.
Okay.
No, probably not.
You for $2,000? What would you do it for? $100? And it's all
How long
you're
does
there,
that?
you're
How
there
long
in an
does it
hour.
take?
It's an
An
hour
hour?
trip
Well,
to the moon.
Okay, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it's in 5 years when we have super rockets.
Because I was like, because you can't even get to Europe in an hour.
Yeah, but in 5 years we have super planes and super rockets and super trains.
I'd probably rather go to somewhere on Earth I haven't been yet.
Really?
Oh, I
For
guess
$100, you'd like. But okay, what if it was? Hey, it's $100, but only 50 people in the world will get to do it at this price and that time.
Sure. I'd buy a ticket. I'd buy a ticket, then I'll decide later. I'll buy the ticket. I'll just see it later if I feel like it.
Send in your fan theories, any owls as well, any questions.
Do you want to go to the moon?
Yeah.
Overrated, I heard.
Really? Apparently, like looking at the Earth from the moon is like one of the most eye-opening experiences of astronauts' lives.
Yeah, but because astronauts, I mean, they do nothing.
What do you mean?
They're training all day, all night in this little facility,
and then they see. Yeah,
they probably have equal experience. If they just like had a day off and like went to the beach.
Come on, dude, you're disrespecting the Astros.
I don't know. I feel like if you become an astronaut, there's something else going wrong in your life.
No, if you become an astronaut, everything in your life has gone right.
I don't know.
Who actually becomes an astronaut? Like
people whose parents will never accept them.
So you have to go to a different planet.
You have to. They're striving for their parents' approval. They're like, look, I'm like a pilot. I'm a doctor. I'm a everything in one.
Anyway, That was a fun little
bitch,
chat.
I'm a lover.
All right.
I'm a sinner. I'm a saint.
I'm a pain. A goodbye. Humor.
We really didn't need to tail off the podcast with that shit chat about the moon, did we?
Oh, I thought you were going to say with your shit song. I thought the astronaut song stuff was interesting.
I've written it off.
Send an astronaut emoji if that was just like an interesting chat. Like, oh, that was interesting.
Oh, don't. Oh, whatever. All right. Goodbye.
This podcast is out of control. Sort of like some of the shuttles that they send to the moon that's crashed back
Most
down
of them
to
just blow up.
Yeah.
India's just been to the moon.
Have they?
Well, 3 weeks ago now.
I did see that, and they were all cheer. Like, the moon brings people together, ironically, because it's so far away.
So far away.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
a goodbye.
Bye, Amoras. No, we can't.
If you want to listen to more of me right now, my other podcast, 20th Century Boy, is up wherever you're listening to this. It's out every single Thursday, and there is a back catalogue of so many episodes to listen to. It's a weekly blog, catch-up style podcast about my life and the things that have caught my eye that week. You can also catch up on clips on my YouTube channel, on my TikTok, radio.mike, on my Instagram, at radio.mike, and follow me on Twitter as well, at It's Radio Mike, and follow Sam everywhere, at Sam Garlep. There's 2 P's on the end of Garlep. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. This podcast was a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to check out all our other content, stay up to date at radio.mike on Instagram, and get in touch, radiomikepod@gmail.com.